Imagine being the most thoughtful, considerate person in the room, always putting others first, always offering a helping hand. You strive to be kind because that's what you believe is right. And yet, instead of gratitude or mutual respect, you often find yourself treated like a doormat. Ever wonder why? What if the very trait you see as your greatest strength is actually making you more vulnerable to being overlooked or disrespected? It sounds counterintuitive, even unfair, but there's a deeper psychological and social truth at play. Kindness, when not balanced with assertiveness, can sometimes lead others to take advantage of you. Today, we're diving into why excessive kindness can backfire, the role of power dynamics, and how setting firm boundaries can help you maintain both respect and control in your relationships. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in self-control, wisdom, and virtue, encourages kindness, but with an important distinction. The Stoics believed in being kind not for validation, not in hopes of reciprocation, but simply because it aligned with their principles. However, they also understood that unchecked kindness could be misinterpreted as passivity or weakness. True kindness, according to Stoicism, is not about constantly sacrificing yourself for others. It's about acting from a place of strength, rationality, and inner stability. The problem arises when kindness is given without boundaries, leading people to assume that you will always accommodate their needs, regardless of how they treat you. We're often taught that kindness begets kindness, that treating others with respect will earn us the same in return. But in reality, social interactions don't always follow this fairy tale script. Studies show that when someone is consistently kind, people may start to see them as predictable, easily manipulated, or lacking authority. Think about that one co-worker who always volunteers for extra tasks, brings coffee for everyone, and never says no to a request. Initially, they're appreciated, but over time, they become the go-to person for favors, their kindness taken for granted. Rather than being respected, they are often overlooked, burdened, or even dismissed when it comes to important decisions. The paradox? Their good-hearted nature, instead of earning them admiration, ends up diminishing their influence. Much of human interaction is shaped by power dynamics, who leads, who follows, and how respect is distributed. When you are endlessly giving, people may unconsciously place you in a lower power position. The world often associates strength with assertiveness, decisiveness, and sometimes the ability to say no. By always saying yes and prioritizing others above yourself, you might be sending a silent message that your own needs are secondary. This can lead to an imbalance where others assume dominance, whether intentionally or not. The Stoics understood this and ensured they remained kind without becoming subservient. They acted with wisdom, not blind accommodation. One of the most important lessons from Stoicism is the necessity of boundaries. True kindness does not mean unlimited self-sacrifice. Instead, it requires clear, firm boundaries that signal how you expect to be treated. Without these, people will continue to test limits, sometimes without realizing it, until you finally push back. Boundaries protect both your well-being and your dignity. They establish that while you are willing to help and be considerate, you will not tolerate disrespect or exploitation. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most respected Stoic leaders, was known for his rational and principled decision-making. He never let his kindness compromise his authority, proving that respect and virtue can the role of self-respect. At the core of this issue is self-respect. If you don't respect yourself, others are unlikely to respect you either. Self-respect means understanding your value, enforcing your boundaries, and refusing to accept mistreatment, even under the guise of being nice. The Stoics emphasized inner strength, the kind that doesn't waver in the face of external pressure. When you hold yourself in high regard, others are more likely to follow suit. Kindness should never come at the expense of your dignity. Instead, it should be rooted in self-awareness and wisdom, ensuring that it remains a strength rather than a vulnerability. Kindness is a virtue, but only when practiced with balance. Without boundaries, it can lead to exploitation and disrespect. The key is to remain kind without compromising your self-worth, to be generous without being naive, and to give without expecting, but also without allowing yourself to be used. So next time you feel your kindness is being taken for granted, ask yourself, am I setting the right boundaries? Am I respecting myself as much as I respect others? Because true kindness isn't about weakness. It's about wisdom, strength, and control over your own actions.